Alright, what do you think of when you see this image? For most people, they think, okay, so Gore does not work with Recoil Masteries because he took 40% off of his life after just one fight in the Realm of Legends. And that's a fair assumption, but actually, this isn't the case at all once you learn the character, because there is a way to maintain your health pool and survive with Recoil Masteries for like an entire path in Act 7. And to prove that, I'm gonna do just what I said. I'm gonna do a full Act 7 path using just Gore and the Recoil Masteries. So I'll be putting all these fights in 2x speed except for the last one because I feel like it's very repetitive and like you get the gist of it like anyways. So let's talk about what's going on here though, right? So as you can see, whenever we trigger a shadow magic that's a bleed or a poison, we get a regen buff. And this is because of Heretic's Defiance. So what this does is, whenever we trigger a shadow magic and the matching damaging debuff is on Gore, he gets a regeneration buff. And this stacks. So this regen is only impactful like in the later fights when you're at low health, because the regen is based off of your missing health. So like at the beginning of the quest when you have like full health, it won't do that much and you'll just be losing health constantly, right? But when you're in like the 40% range, that's when the regen starts like doing a lot of work for you, and that's when it starts keeping you alive. So as you can see, this is a Pleasure to Burn and got a light lane. Overall, like it's just a very non-problematic lane pretty much. It can be annoying for Gore because it has Mighty Charge as well, but we work around it by just keeping them cornered. And I think this just goes to show Gore works for like a lot more than you think, because you know, Mighty Charge you think that he would suck for, but he's actually doing pretty well in this path and he does very well overall. So yeah, but like I said, you see we're like in the 40% range and we're just going to stay there for pretty much the entire quest, except for when we get to this fight right here. This Thor Ragnarok just is pain, man. This Thor Ragnarok sucks because his power gain really messes up our rotation, so we have to go for a multiple SP1 spam, and that means we have to take recoil damage, right? And Gore, while he's really good at like regenerating the damage from poison, from recoil it's a different story, because you know, there's no way to get a regen buff from recoil, right? So yeah, that's a bit painful. But right here, I just try to make a plan to like help Gore like not die from this fight, and I just decided to use the SP3, and I use it so I can block out his power gain, right? So that was like my plan, and now the fight's going like pretty smoothly. I am at a lower health than I want it to be though, but I think it's still tolerable and I can still manage to do it. But yeah, there's the third fight. Now let's go into the fourth fight. I need to mention here that we gain a stack of heresy from defeating Thor Ragnarok, and that gives us a 12.5% regen rate increase. But I just want to say, this isn't necessary at all. Gore will still survive like any Act 7 path without this stack of heresy. He doesn't need the stack of heresy to like survive. It's just like a nice bonus for us, but it's overall not needed, and he will still do a whole path even without any stacks of heresy. So I just had to like point that out because I just didn't want anyone to like call that out, because you really do not need the stack of heresy to do a full path with Gore. You can do it with 0 stacks. It doesn't really matter, right? So yeah, I just had to like clarify that. But this fight is a lot slower than the other ones for some reason. I don't know why, but we're still like getting through it. We're like in the 20% range. Ideally I want to be at the 30% range, but you know what, it's fine. But yeah, a quick disclaimer also, if you don't like fighting at low health, then Gore Recoils isn't for you, because you will be at low health for a majority of the quest, right? But the thing is, he can still survive. He will not die from the Recoil Masteries. He will just be at like low health always. So just keep that in mind whenever you want to use Gore with Recoil Masteries. So yeah, just like keep in mind that you'll be at low health for pretty much the entire quest, like once you get going. But he will survive, and he will like do his lanes just as well as he does without them. It's just like you're at a low health for like the entire fight. But if you can manage that, then he becomes pretty dang good with Recoil Masteries. And now we have the final fight here. I'm gonna put it in regular speed so you can like see more clearly what's going on. So the fight starts, we have a regen buff active, right? And then right there we gain another one, and then we can just keep cycling this until we just run out of the bleed mastery, and then we just have to rely on the poison mastery to give us the regen buff. So just keep cycling that, just keep cycling your shadow magics, and you will get a big benefit whenever you trigger the bleed one and the poison one. And then just do your regular rotation, and then that'll be it. Like, it's really simple with Gore, right? He works really well with the Recoil Masteries, in my opinion. And he works better than a lot of characters do, because other characters, they would just die on like the 4th or 5th fight because they cannot survive. They don't have a way to regen, right? So they will not be able to like handle the Recoil Masteries. But Gore can handle them because, one, he has regen, and he regens like depending on what debuffs he has on him. And 2, he's SP3 reliant, right? So there's like almost no recoil damage at all. So yeah, all in all, I feel like despite what people think originally, he's actually very good with Recoil Masteries, and I, like, honestly, whenever I have them on, I will still be using Gore regularly because he can still handle the fights that he's good for. It's just that you'll be at low health for like pretty much the entire time, but he can still do the fights and he can still like do whole paths if you want to. So yeah, that was a whole 6 fights, a whole Act 7 lane with Gore and the Recoil Masteries without healing or reviving. That was just regular Gore, no other shenanigans, right? And I think that proves pretty well that this guy does work with the Recoil Masteries. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on Gore. Let me know your thoughts on him with the Recoil Masteries. And yeah, that's about it for me.